Throughout the history of the automotive industry, there have been many anecdotes of various kinds, some considered milestones and some simply curious and relevant information that are part of the automotive world and serve to further understand this sector. In today's video we have compiled 20 curious facts to surprise you. Sit back, grab some popcorn and enjoy the video. 1. The world's first vehicle had a top speed of only 11 km per hour. The Benz patent Motorwagen was the first vehicle in the world with internal combustion. This model is attributed to Carl Friedrich Benson in the city of Mannheim in 1886 and only ran at 11 km per hour or 6.835 miles per hour. Hence another curiosity. The cars of the 18th century were so slow that the New York police stopped cars that exceeded the speed limit allowed with a bicycle. Yes, with a bicycle. 2. Ford T, the first mass-produced vehicle. Ford was the first brand to release a model that was manufactured from an assembly line. The Ford T is considered by many to be the father of the automobile, and in 1999, it won the Car of the Century award. It was very popular in its time due to its low cost of ownership and was the first vehicle to incorporate a radio. 3. Volvo P1800, the car that has done the most kilometers in the world. The Volvo P1800 is inscribed with its owner, Irv Gordon, in the Guinness Book of Records, and it is not for less, since it traveled the whopping figure of 5,245,000 kilometers without ever replacing the motor or the transmission. The only major interventions that have been made are 2 repaints made over the years. Sadly, Gordon passed away in 2018 at the age of 77, leaving his Volvo to his mechanic friend Nino Gambino that fortunately still uses it today. 4. The Volvo Amazon, not that, but this, was the first vehicle to incorporate seat belts as standard. The Volvo Amazon of the year 1959 was the first vehicle to add seat belts in all its models. The curious thing is that first Ford did it in 1956 in some of its models, but Volvo was faster and patented the system, which, until 1962, were using it exclusively. It's no wonder why Volvo is currently one of the safest brands on the market. 5. The crazy 24 hours of Le Mans on rollerblades. Once the endurance race par excellence of the motor world ends and the teams retire from the iconic circuit, after a few days takes over a curious and increasingly famous competition also on wheels, the 24H Rollers of Le Mans. A race on skates that includes the same format as the motor race on the Sarthe circuit. I don't know what you think, but it seems painful. 6. Pepe, the man who uses a hearse as a private vehicle. Pepe Ballester, a Valencian designer fond of surfing and classic cars, decided when he saw the design of the hearses, that he could kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Have a classic, that the surfboards fit, and camperize it to his liking to expose his clothes in the markets. In fact, the protagonist himself said the following: "It's very comfortable, I fit anything from IKEA." 7. The world's most powerful diesel engine has 114,780 horsepower. The most powerful diesel engine in the world is not in the automotive sector, but in the merchant marine. These are the engines used in large cargo ships, specifically the Wärtsilä RT Flex 96C, considered the most powerful diesel engine in the world, with a maximum torque of 7.6 million nanometer and a weight of 2,300 tons. As an added curiosity, you may be interested to know that it is 27 meters tall, or what it is the same, 17 smarts 4 one on top of the other. 8. The McLaren F1 mounted the tail lights of a bus thinking they were homologated. One of the curiosities that perhaps only the wisest or fans of the motor world know, but the McLaren F1 used as taillights, the taillights of a Dutch bus called Bova Futura. They took the idea of another model, but what they did not know, is that these pilots were not homologated for passenger cars. Why? Because McLaren noticed that TVR had used them and assumed that they would be homologated. The surprise was that TVR never bothered to homologate these bus lights. 9. The Bugatti we can buy. Last year Bugatti presented the Bugatti electric scooter, the Bugatti that all the plebs, you and me, we can buy for the minuscule price of $1,200. Now if the bald man asks us,
"Well, what color's your Bugatti?" "Oh, fuck off then."
we will have an answer. 10. A car remains parked for 95% of its useful life on average. No matter how much mileage you think you give it, cars stay much longer stationary than running, but to such an extent that on average, cars remain parked 95% of their useful life, so we encourage you to enjoy and squeeze the most out of that 5% on the road. 11. The pleasant smell of new car disappears 20% every week. The smell of a new car is one of the pleasures when you buy your vehicle. That aroma that is so liked and so quickly detected comes from about 60 volatile organic compounds that are used during the production of the car and that still reside inside after its sale. Unfortunately, the aroma is not very durable and disappears 20% of the compound every week until it disappears. So technically it only lasts an average of 5 weeks. 12. The first fatality due to a traffic accident was a scientist of the 19th century. Mary Ward. That was the name of the first known fatality in a traffic accident. She tragically died after falling from a steam-powered vehicle and being crushed by its heavy wheels. The first tragedy of the thousands that have been recorded from it, since it is estimated that more than 25 million people have died due to traffic accidents. Be careful behind the wheel. 13. The automobile was known as that clean way of transportation. It seems ironic, but before the arrival of the automobile in the 19th century, horse droppings covered all the streets of the world since wagons were the most common means of transportation, which degenerated into major pollution problems at that time. Hence, the car was conceived as the great clean way of transport, like bicycles today. Who would say it? 14. The most dangerous road in the world is in Bolivia. Highway of Death, or the Yungas, it has been considered the most dangerous road in the world since the mid-90s, with an average of 209 accidents per year. In addition, the inclement weather does not forgive these 84 kilometers of two-way track and a descent with more than 3,600 meters of unevenness. 15. How long would it take from the Earth to the Moon by car? If we put an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour and considering that the distance between the Earth and the Moon is 384,400 kilometers, that equals in 3,844 hours, or what is the same, a little more of 160 days. But if we put into the equation an Honda Civic with a computer, that leaves us with approximately 160 minutes. 16. The Pope Mobile is a 281 horsepower Chevrolet.
Yo, you wanna see some real speed, bitch? I'll show you some real speed.
The average speed of the Popemobile during its public rides is 15 kilometers per hour. Now, in the event of an unexpected leak, the Supreme Pontiff's Chevrolet Traverse has a 3.6-liter six-cylinder engine that generates 281 horsepower. 17. Cruising speed was invented by a blind engineer. Ralph Teeter, a blind engineer, patented cruise control in 1945, that system that limits the speed of the car and makes it maintain a constant speed. The reason why he invented such a system is iconic. The engineer patented this system because of the discomfort caused by the braking and acceleration produced by his lawyer when driving. 18. The dashboard was the piece of wood that prevented the splashes of mud produced by the horses. What we know today as the dashboard, that element full of increasingly sophisticated lights and markers, was originally a piece of wood integrated into the front part of the horse carriage, made to prevent splashes of mud caused by the trotting of the horses. Quite a change, right? 19. The €170,000 fine for driving at 80 km per hour. The penalty imposed in Finland on a meat tycoon named Jussi Salonoja in 2002 is as striking as it could be. In Finland, as in most Nordic countries, the amount of the fine will be in accordance with the offender's annual income. Hence the penalty was so high. The tycoon was driving on a rural road where you could only drive at 40 km per hour. 20. The first car race in history reached a stratospheric top speed of 24 km per hour. Does it start with something? Right. Before arriving at Formula 1 and all the cars that we know of that comprise the different competitions, there had to be the first car race in history. This was played in France between the city of Bordeaux and the capital, Paris. The route was round trip and the maximum speed reached was 24 km per hour. Did you know any of these facts? Leave it to me in the comments. I'll be reading you.